Brian, thanks. And while we have you here, you were watching that memorial service along with me and all of our viewers. Want to get your reaction to that. And also, we saw you in that piece on the front lines covering these protests for us. You've been out there the past couple of days. As a journalist, what has that been like for you, walking alongside these protesters and telling this story as a whole?
Well, first reacting to it, when we were listening in to Reverend Al Sharpton as he was speaking to everyone in his sermon, he had talked about something that I want to share, and he was saying in his words that protesters that we're seeing all across the nation don't condone looking for violence. There's a difference between those calling for peace and those calling for quiet. And I just want to elaborate on that real quick when he was talking about that, because for the most part, when I'm on those front lines, it is peaceful. It's very peaceful the entire time. Now, disruptive, yes. We've seen bridges shut down, highways closed for hours at a time, but peaceful, and that's something that is a good thing for here in Connecticut, and it contradicts what we've been seeing across the nation when we see more aggression towards protesters and law enforcement and their relations together. So that's something I'm very proud of seeing here on the front lines here in Connecticut. But as a reporter and as a black man, you know, it is a bit hard for me to always have a calm reaction to being out there. On social media the other day, I was shaken to my core. After 6 days of continuous coverage of these protests, I never had a chance to stop and think of what I was doing. And not in the sense of, news coverage, because all that was, nice, fair, and balanced, but more so how it was affecting me as an African-American man. And it's hard. Most of Black America right now is hurting, because George Floyd is a symbol of more than just himself when he died. He is a symbol of people that look like me, people that look like my family, people that look like my friends. And back home in Memphis, Tennessee, he encompassed so much more, and seeing his death played out the way it did shook me to the core. Honestly, it shook me to the core. And having his memorial now just symbolized that we need, as a country, to have a greater conversation. And protesters here even enlightened me on this past Tuesday that it's time to start having uncomfortable conversations about race and equality, because there's a great divide right now. And as Reverend Al Sharpton said in his speech, a new season is here, and I believe that season really does start now, Ben.